The following is a podcast from a qualified senior care provider heard on the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders radio network. And we're coming to you again across the nation. And we're very thrilled to be able to come into your hometowns and across the USA. And I know so many family caregivers and families are out there and seniors that are navigating a very complicated and daunting journey of senior care. And Answers for Elders always is what we call the North Star of navigating a very difficult journey. And we have these amazing experts out there that I call our way showers. They're the people that can guide you. And certainly we're excited today to introduce you to a very special guest. And before I do that, I'm going to talk about how many of us have thought about when we leave our house and we have a loved one at home, or if we work or whatever it is, we're in a situation where we're constantly concerned about that loved one, whether they could fall, whether they could be in a situation where they're, maybe not feeling well or tumbling or, having a medical emergency or anything like that. And, it's really nice to talk to people that are innovators. And this is a gentleman that I met not too long ago. And I am very excited. I wanted to get him on the show as soon as possible, and it took a little while, but I'm going to introduce you to Ryan Hurd, who is also an accomplished author. He owns a patent. He's a TED Talk speaker and all kinds of things. So Ryan, welcome to the show. And we're going to talk about your program product, which is called Caregiver Smart Solutions. So Ryan, welcome to Answers for Elders.
Suzanne, how are you doing? I really appreciate you having me on Answers for Elders. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to talk to your audience. This is going to be incredible.
Well, it is. And you're an innovator. You're a technology guru or whatever. I love that there's people coming forward that are younger that have these amazing, innovations for those of us that have been on the front lines caring for loved ones. And so, Ryan, tell us a little bit before we start. You have a background story, and obviously, how did it lead you to creating Caregiver Smart Solutions?
Well, that's a great story. So strap in. Really, it starts, I've always been into technology and electronics and all that kind of stuff. Actually, I've been doing it for about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And as you alluded to before, I'm an author. I actually wrote a book called Join the Smart Home Revolution. And it was all about all the smart things that surround us in our homes. And what does that mean? What does smart mean? How can it help us as humans? Whether it's that smart door lock or that video doorbell, or it could be a smart thermostat. What about talking? Does voice control mean anything? So
Sure.
How do we interface into our environment? So that's really where I've spent the last 30 years working. And, life was great and all that stuff. Unfortunately, as my story goes, my father got cancer. And by now, he's had cancer several times. He is tough as nails. But the issue that I was having was when he gets his chemo treatments, there's this one medication that he had to take, and it was for his neuropathy. And what it was is if he took it at 1 o'clock, he would have to take it at 1 o'clock the next day. So it was like a 24-hour cycle. Where other things that he was taking, it could be plus or minus, take these in the morning, take these before you go to bed.
Sure.
But there's one that, the doctor said he had to take at a specific time. So that's where it started. And it started with, Dad, did you take your medication? And of course, they're always saying yes. Then you go over there and the bottle's full and it's what's going on. So I had this problem. And me being a problem solver from the smart industry, is all about solving problems. How can I make your life easier, better, more fun? I was trying to solve my own problem. And I was looking. I figured I would find something, buy it, put it in, and nothing existed. So I did with basically what everybody does, right? You go and you start researching, you go on the Google and you start typing away, and it seems like everybody comes to the same conclusion. I'm going to put a camera in that house, which is
Yeah.
retrospectively the worst possible,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
invasive.
it's invasive. But again, I didn't know, I'm Mr. Smart Guy. I'm going to
Yeah.
fix this with technology. So I put a camera in, and that lasted 10 to 15 seconds. And then
Yeah.
there was a dish towel. Actually, I was looking at it and I'm like, what is that? And then I go over there and it's a
And
dish
he
towel.
put a
I'm
dish
like,
towel over it. Well, and I tend to agree with you, Ryan, because the other thing is a camera doesn't necessarily tell the story.
exactly.
You don't know if that person's sleeping, or you don't know if that person is breathing really
Right.
sometimes, and
Right.
all of the things that happen. So and it's just, to me, would you want to be under a camera? I certainly wouldn't
No,
want to be on camera 24 hours a day. For
no.
what? So appreciate the fact that you came up with another solution.
Well, you know what? There's a bunch of technology out there, and some technology is appropriate and some
Mhm.
is not. So when
Right.
we're talking about our aging loved ones, it's so much more than just the problem. It's about dignity. It's about independence. It's about
That's correct.
enabling that person to live on their own, because that's exactly what you're going to want when you get up to this age.
Hmm.
So I believe, a camera, although I think it's great for outside security, I think it's great for that
Sure.
doorbell. It's great to allow our loved ones to know who's on the other side of that door without opening up the door. So
Hmm.
whether it's a camera, whether it's a listening device, that's not the appropriate technology
Sure.
for our loved ones. So then it came out to what is. And for me, basically, I took a suite of sensors and I said, okay, here are the ground rules. Number one, I can't spy on my father. I can't use a camera. That's not going to work. Number two, he's not going to wear anything. If you can get your loved one to wear, I've fallen and I can't get up, that's great. But what I've learned is oftentimes when they come home, they take it off because they believe they're safe in home. And that's a problem. So
Or
what am I
they'll
going to
take
do?
a shower and forget to put it back on, or
Or
something like
forget to
that. That
charge it.
that's option too.
Right. So that's where Caregiver Smart Solutions was born. It was born in my own need as a caregiver, and I just needed a simple and effective way to get some clarity of care for when I'm not
Hmm.
there, because I can't be there all the time, like you said in
Hmm.
the beginning.
Yeah. And so basically, Caregiver Smart Solutions is a series of sensors that hooks up to an app. Is that correct?
Yes, what it is it's tiny non-invasive sensors about the size
Uh-huh.
of a quarter,
Uh-huh.
and they are monitoring that person's habits, because the habit is the only thing we can't lie ourselves out of.
Yeah.
That information is then fed to a phone, your smart device, and from there you'll know exactly how your loved one's doing.
Mhm. Yeah. And, this segment, obviously, this show to everyone is, we all have probably know somebody or have a loved one that wants to age in place. They want to be at home. And that may be the most practical solution to respect their dignity. And yet we have family members across the US that are concerned about their loved ones. So we're going to talk a
Right.
little bit this hour about Caregiver Smart Solutions and how it is, helps families as well as a senior to be living in dignity in their home. And Ryan, you have a special promotion for everyone that's listening to this show, and give us some information how we can find you and what they're going to receive.
Absolutely. So you can find us on the World Wide Web at caregiversmartsolutions.com. Again, that's caregiversmartsolutions.com. Or you can call us. It's 888-585-5022. Again, it's 888-585-5022. And for the listeners of your program and your program only, we have something special. Using the code AFE10, that will give you 10% off the core kits. This way you can get a little more peace of mind and time back in your life.
That's awesome. And AFE stands for Answers for Elders 10.
Exactly.
And we will make sure also when we post Ryan's video interview on YouTube as well, and on our website, we will put that code in the description so that you can reach out to Ryan if it's something even you're thinking about. So again, Ryan and I are going to be here this hour, and we're going to talk about the different ways that this amazing, innovative technology works. And we'll be right back right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.